Hello there. Today we are going to see how we can execute a complete performance testing project within minutes. So let me start with login. Once I log in, the first step in a performance testing project is to create a script. So for this, I go to IntelliScript, IntelliJMX. So here we need a HAR file or a JSON file. Let's create a JSON file first. We would use our own in-house recorder. So let's say we want to record the pet store application. So here I open the Perfeasy recorder, this which is a Chrome extension. So to make sure that in the results we understand the transaction wise, so I create a transaction. Let's say the name is enter store, start transaction, do the activity, close the transaction. Next I start another transaction. The name I give is search, confirm, do a search, search is done. Then I end the transaction. I start another transaction. Let's say view product, confirm and do the activity. Here it opened goldfish, stop and transaction. I can go on, but I will stop here only. Let's click on stop and download. So it will ask me to download the file. I will give the name as pet store search .json. So just close the browser. Now coming back to our own portal. So here we just browse it on downloads, just select, give the name of the script. Let's say we give the name as pet store search one and click generate. So it will send some AI calls, it will do some processing, and within seconds we have the JMX ready. Now the next step is to do a load test. So here we can go to benchmarks, create a new benchmark. Here we give the name of the benchmark. Benchmark name is a mix load one. What is the target load? Will till which load we want to see our application is able to sustain or not. So let's say we give 100 users only. So it will start with I'm sorry, 20% user load of 100 every 20 users, and it will keep on going up to 100% if everything is successful. If there are failures or something, so it will reduce the load. We can give the test time. So do we want a 5-minute quick test? We want 15-minute test. We can do a long test also for a 30-minute, and we can also give our custom time also. So let's select 15 minutes only. If we want a stress test or a soak test, we can enable this also, but for now we'll keep it disabled. We can give our SLAs like at how much error rate, let's say 40%, we say failure. Response time, let's say 4 seconds, we say as a failed, and select next. Here we give the scripts. So the script that we created, pet store search one, I select that script only. So I'll show you a mixed load where we run a multiple scripts at the same time. So let's say the weight of this script is 60%. The ramp up time is 120 seconds, let's say 2 minutes out of 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, I want it to perform 6 iteration per user. So just select add. I want to add another workflow. So I can upload our own script if there is any existing script that I have. So let me copy the script from here. So I have this script where I have deliberately added some failure ring. So here we select if the data present in the CSV file is unique or not. So let's say the data is not unique, we can reuse the data, and I have to upload the file. The name is test data. The system picks on its own from the script itself. So here also I'm going to give the ramp up time 2 minutes, the iteration time, let's say 7 iterations, and here I can also select the different locations to run the test. So let's add this. So now I have two scripts where pet store is 60% and the blaze demo is 40%. So this blaze demo, I have deliberately added some requests which would fail. So there will be some failures which would happen because I want to show how the failures would look when the load test ends. So click on next. Here we can review if everything settings are like 100% 100 users is the peak load we want, the thresholds are correct. So those things we can confirm, and we click on create the benchmark. So whenever I want to start the test, I click on the start benchmark and it is done. Now the system will automatically initiate multiple tests. It will start with the dry run, then it will start running 20% load based on the results. It will decide the next step if it needs to come down to, let's say, 10%, or it may go up to 40%. So those things are automatically happen. So now you just go back. Now it was the test duration we gave was 15 minutes. So it would take around 2.5 hours to 3 hours to complete the complete performance testing cycle, and we will see the result. So let's come back after 1 hour. We'll see what happened after 1 hour. So this is about half the time. Let's see what happened to the test. So Okay, so the 20% load test has completed 20 user, the 40 user also completed, 60 is analyzing and determining, so it is just analyzing the results, doing the things. The 60 user test has not started. Let's see the result. Go to scenarios here, stepwise. So this was 20 user test. Here we can see what was the response time for each transaction. This is 61 times it was hit. The average time is 159 milliseconds. 90 percentile is 200 milliseconds. There were zero failures. We also set a script where some failures was happening. So this was the request where failures were happening. So we can see each and every request, how many times it was hit, the time, the hits per second, the 90 percentile, 99 percentile, minimum, maximum, average, and the error percentage. So for this error, we want to see what happened, why it failed. So I can go to this error, and here we see the list of each and every failure. So, and I can click on that. So here it was giving 400 error. So this was a request that was sent, specific request, and this was the response that was received. So it says 404 not found. And here also we know that this was the error message, and we can see the result. So this was a 20 user test. Similarly, the 40 user test, which is also completed. So this is like each and every transaction request, we can get the statistics. Overall, 4.6% failure happened with a 192.9 millisecond average response time and a throughput of 2.68 per second. Similarly, the same errors are also visible. Each and every failure instance, we can see what happened. So here it is for available. For the 60 user load, it is still setting up the thing, so we cannot see the data right now. Okay, let's come back after about 1.5 hours again and see once the test completes. So I'm back again. Let's see what happened to our test. It says converging, analyzing result. Okay, so it has completed 20%, 40%, 60, 80 as and 100 user test is it is setting up, analyzing the results. Okay, so let's see the details of the test. So here we see the 20 user results where the error rate is 4.6%, throughput is 2.68% per second. Here the 40 percent test, 60 user test, similarly the 80 user test, and the 100 user test is still setting up, and we are awaiting the test executions. So I believe we should come back again after some time, so till when the test completes. Okay, so now we are back. So it says completed. So that means all the tests are complete, benchmark completed successfully. So let's go to scenario and see up to 100% or the 100 user test it complete. The error rate was 4.64%. Here we see the similar statistic that we saw for the 20 user, 40 user test, up to 100 user test. We can see the transaction wise details like average response time, hit per second, 90 percentile response time, 99 min max average. So all that stats are available. And here we can see the summary. Now we need to go to the report generation. For this, we go to dashboard, we click on this view all, and here I can download the four formats, HTML, PDF, Word, and Excel. So I download the Excel format, and let me show you what are the contents of that Excel file. So here we open the Excel file, and the first tab is overall summary. Here we show the results, like the test, how when the test was run, what was the duration of the test, what was the peak user load, the ramp up values that we sent, the distribution, user load distribution that we gave, and this is the summary of the all the tests of what was the user load, what was the 95 percentile error rate, etc. Here we see the comparative stats for all the user load, the comparison between number of hits, the average response time. We can also see the charts like transaction count trends, response time trends, as well as the failure trends. So this contains a summary. So here, if we want to see further drill down into which request took time or which transaction was taking more time, so we can see in each and every tab of the sheet. So for every test, we have a separate tab where we can see the specific request, specific transaction wise data.